Old fart, cold start, old fart, cold start, old fart, cold start. Oh yeah, it's cold. Alright. I'd turn the dome light on, but I need as much cranking power as I can get out of this thing right now. Hey! Hey guys, Brony General here, back with another video, finally with something that I've been meaning to take care of for a while, and that's a video on this. This is Dixie, my 1970 Ford F-250 Camper Special Edition custom truck. And yeah, you can probably already tell she's a road warrior. Not quite a restored vehicle in any kind of way, but that's kind of the point of this truck. This truck does a lot of work. I mean, as you're going to get to see in just a minute here, she's kitted to do just about anything I need. So, I guess we'll start up front here. I got these Apollo off-road 150 watt halogen lights for it. And well, you know, I'm not even sure. I don't think those are halogen. They're probably just incandescent because it's just a filament. So I guess incandescent lights. Newt is included with the vehicle. Oh, I know. I know. Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say? Huh? Say hi to Butch. But anyway, back to the truck. We got those 150 watt apiece Apollo incandescent off-road and fog lights, and they come in handy on days like this where I'm not sure what the weather is going to be like in the next 10 minutes. Lifting up the power barn here. Thanks Vice Grip Garage for the terminology. We've got a 360 cubic inch V8 engine, and that would be from the FE family of Ford motors. Yeah, that's right. A version of this tractor motor right here would go on to beat Ferrari. I mean, obviously it was redesigned heavily. The 427 side oiler is pretty much nothing like this 360 V8, except for shapes here and there, and some minor parts fit between the two. But for the most part, this is the tractor, heavy-duty, industrial use, gear it to hell kind of version of the FE motor that came out in base model trucks like this. Well, not base model, but lowly optioned trucks. You could have gotten the same truck the same year with a 390 in it, which is the same motor, but bored out a little bit more and with a little bit more oomph. So this was pretty much the cheap version, the get her done version. And get her done this truck does. This motor is a little bit out of time, as you're going to see here when I start it up. But haven't had time to take the timing setup back apart. I changed the timing chain in it, and it wasn't quite retimed properly, but being in a rush, I wasn't able to pull it back apart and fix it yet. This truck has a lot of work to do, so thankfully she's surviving. As far as creature comforts go, it does not have power steering. It did have an AC, but I've since removed that. It was just dead weight pretty much. And I do plan on putting an air compressor here on this old York style mounting bracket. I was able to find the actual adapter and compressor and everything. So this truck will soon have onboard air. That will be explained soon. No power booster for the brakes. It's all four-wheel drums and no booster. So if you got a strong foot, it stops just fine. Otherwise, maybe not. 360 V8. It's still got pretty much all original equipment on it, by the way. We've got, pop this cap off real quick. Breaker points. You can just barely see them in there. And you know what? People will say breaker points suck. Just get the electronic ignition, whatever. I don't mind them. They've been reliable to me. Of course, I've been taught how to take care of them, so you know, it's less of an issue if you were taught that. I guess a lot of people probably weren't. But yeah, still a mechanical fuel pump, still unboosted drum brakes, no power steering. So as far as features go to keep you comfortable in the cabin, you pretty much got nada. And that's Honestly, fine by me. That's exactly why I bought this truck, because the less of that crap there is, the less crap there is to fail on you. It's also got the original jack still with it, which is pretty cool, and then the rag that I used to check the oil. I believe that's actually a 4-core radiator. I believe the Camper Special package gave you a 4-core radiator. It's a pretty thick one if it's a 2-core. But yeah, moving on to the sides here, we've got 750/16 D-Stone Mud and Snow bias ply tires, and these things are knobby. And this is them being a little bit worn down from me driving on it a lot. I've put a lot of miles on these tires. Now, they say bias ply tires aren't supposed to last all that long. If you read online, you'll see that a lot of people say that bias ply tires are supposed to last significantly less time than radials. But so far, I mean, I've put, what is it, about 8,000 miles on these tires so far. That's a lie, about 7, because about 1,000 miles was on the other tires. And I mean, they're still pretty damn groovy to me. They're definitely not anywhere near bald. If I can stop getting interrupted by a certain newt, and I can get this video finished. But moving on from the bias ply knobby tires, which, by the way, this truck not having power steering, for anybody who might be considering a truck that doesn't have power steering, the few of you that might be in that position, consider getting bias ply tires for it. It makes this truck steer so much better than having radials on it. This truck is a world of handling difference having bias ply tires on it instead of radials. The lessened grip that you get in a general road situation on these tires means that steering is just generally easier. But moving on from them, we got singular gas tank on this truck because it is a fairly Spartan optioned truck. It doesn't have the saddle tanks, unfortunately. It'd be really nice if it did, because this truck goes on a lot of highway adventures. But moving down the side, really not much to speak of. The trim is missing on the side. Got the custom badge that's still somehow there. That side's obviously been smashed pretty damn hard. Moving around back, the back actually looks pretty good on this truck for how bad the condition on some parts of it are. Still got the, what is this, like stainless steel, I believe? Or brushed aluminum, something. I don't know, the Ford badge looks really nice. I've seen quite a lot of these trucks that are missing that, so it's pretty nice to actually have it. Got the surrounds for the taillights, and the rarest part of these trucks, these reflector lenses that are here. People either break them or steal them all the time, so they're like nowhere to be found, unless you can get them reproduction, which you probably can these days. It does not have the Camper Special bumper anymore. Camper Special editions, at least the ones I've seen that aren't this one, they have a pull-out bumper. You would have pins underneath, and the bumper would actually pull out to the length of your camper that you have on the back of the truck. This truck, you can tell where the rails for it were up underneath, but alas, the previous owner long ago cut the rails off and put this standard regular, I think, F100, F150 bumper on it. Actually, I do believe this is an F100 bumper because it's painted. F150s, I think, would have had maybe a chrome bumper. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a huge bump side like expert or anything. I just happen to own one because they're reliable trucks. It's got true dual exhaust, which is really nice, and it has got, I'll show you here, some of the longest glass pack style baffled mufflers I have ever seen. By the way, this is very greasy underneath. That's just the way she is. But if you look right there, that is all muffler. That's like a fucking 3-foot long muffler, which I find insane. But they sound pretty good, actually, despite the way the truck actually runs. Got a storage box in the back here. This truck does just as much work as a car as it does as a truck. So this basically acts both as tool storage to keep it out of the rain, as well as, you know, basically a trunk for getting groceries and everything else. This is not a spare tire for the truck, obviously. This is for another car. Kind of more proof that this truck does more for rescuing other vehicles than it ever does need to be rescued. This whole side of the truck is a damned shame. It is nothing but Bondo. That is like half-inch Bondo. Like, for real, that's insane. That is as deep as my nail. And I've got pretty big nail beds. But as you can see, that is all Bondo. This side of the cab, I'm pretty sure, was smashed by a tree at some point in its life. Las Vegas has horrible windstorms, and that is where this truck came from. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it got smashed at some point in its life. Got a noodle here that's just wanting to be a butt. He would have gotten to stay outside if he hadn't have kept wandering away. Back to the truck. We got the tow mirrors. Probably should have mentioned those before, but we got the tow mirrors. This is a pretty common option on these trucks. I've seen even a lot of F100s that have these, which I kind of find questionable, because what are you really pulling that's large enough to need these with an F100? But anyway, people used to do crazy things with these trucks back in the day, so I guess I really can't put it past them to tow giant trailers with an F100 that's just geared properly. But going over to the passenger side and opening the door, you'll see that it's got this dealer add-on step-o-mat here, which it has its pros and cons. I mean, obviously, it scrapes on rocks if I'm out off-road a little bit, and on top of that, it does collect mud horribly. It can get up to like a few inches thick and just dry on this, and then I just have this big brick of mud that comes off. But it's useful because I'm often doing errands with this truck, running in and out of this truck really quickly, and oftentimes I have to pop this passenger door open, put my foot right here, and get all the way over to the other side of the truck, which, as you can see, is made easy by that step. And that is why I keep the step. I've been recommended to remove it a couple times, and I'm like, but I like it. I do like it. As far as the interior on this truck goes, Spartan. This will give you an idea of what one of these trucks ends up looking like when you're actually using it on a day-to-day basis. I got the seat cover here, which has these nice pockets right here, which gives me some storage in a truck that basically doesn't have any. I don't have no door pockets. I don't have no, like, behind the seat room. There's barely any room under the seat. And the glove box, while decently sized, actually, I can even get it open here, it is just about full of random stuff. So, yeah, needed more storage. Got the storage pockets. Got my stickers and a couple of special magnets here. Frickin', is it Forever Free? Yep. Rebel flag. Got this Ford magnet from Rock Auto, and this special one, which I've never seen one like this before. Comment if you guys have a Alien Rover Rock Auto magnet or similar cartoon ones like that, because I don't know if those are special or what. That one's kind of cool. Got a Nevada sticker here that I got at a gas station, because why not? And a reminder that this truck needs to remain ethanol free for as much as it can. Just replaced the blower motor in this truck. Thank God it's this truck, because it was so easy. This thing was in and out in about 5 minutes, if that. So, pretty easy to replace, like most things on this truck are. Got the Crown Royal shift boot, like it's the 90s. Because, yeah, had to do that. The original shift boot was falling apart, and I had heard of people doing this before, so I tried it out. It actually works really well. So, Crown Royal bag or not, it's just a good shift boot. But moving over to the other side of the cabin, because the passenger side really doesn't have much over there. And moving past this beautifully baked engine again. We've also got colors on the side, of course. Have to rock that. More colors on the back. Going into the driver's station here, if you can call it that. We've got big steering wheel, 14 or 16 inch steering wheel. You know, it gives you leverage for the lack of power steering. And as you can see, I mean, the fact that I can actually turn the wheel while it's completely off and stopped, it tells you it does give you some leverage. It has the Ford dual tone horn that I'm sure everybody that has watched an old movie or two has heard before. Comment down below if you can think of any movies where you've heard this horn. Yeah, I know. I can think of a few. Pretty much any movie in New York where somebody ends up in traffic, you will hear that horn. But the gauge cluster here, well, we've got basic gauges: temperature, oil pressure, an odometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and what do you call those? Voltometers. I always forget the name of those somehow. That is all you get. I do plan on adding a couple more gauges, one of them being an hour tracking gauge because this truck does a lot of idling work, and I might get a true temperature gauge for the truck because it would be nice to have a better accurate reading of what that is. Moving on, we've got the switches and buttons and thingies, of which there are not many. We got emergency flashers here. We've got the switch for the Apollo lights here. And there was actually already a 1/2-inch hole for this switch in this truck from the factory, which made this thing so easy to install, and that was pretty awesome. So I was able to reuse a factory hole instead of drilling new ones. We've got my Wayfinder compass and thermostat or thermometer. You got the sensor for it right here. Tells me outside and inside temperature, so I have a good idea of what I'm facing in the mornings. Got the wiper washer. You twist it for wiper speeds. You push it for washer, but my fluid reservoir doesn't exist currently, so I really haven't used that. Got the lights here. Got drive lights, headlights like normal, and obviously you can turn the dome light on from here as well. That does work. Need to get new buttons for the door jambs, dome light activator, because these are made out of like Bakelite or something and they just explode. So, need to get new ones. But thankfully, all the reproduction parts for this truck are readily available. I've looked for them. They're there. It's awesome. But moving on even more, we've got, let's see, your foot vent here, which you can open like that. Gives you some air down at your feet during those hot summer months when you're not going very fast. Very, very helpful. And if that's not enough, obviously this truck's got the smoker windows. So if you're in the truck like so, and you're really, really hot, you can just kick that thing back all the way, and now you've got Ram air conditioning. Works pretty damn good from my experience, even in the Vegas summer sun, which is pretty much as hot as it gets. So, if it works for that, I'd say it works for just about anything. Got the ashtray here. Got the shifter for the Borg Warner T18 transmission that this truck was optioned with. And let me tell you, that transmission is an absolute beast. I love it. The dogleg first gear is so helpful for a lot of the things this truck ends up needing to do in a day. So, very happy that it was optioned with this instead of, for instance, a new process transmission, which it also could have come with, or an automatic, which if it had that, I probably would not have bought it. Moving on, we have the heater controls. Obviously, this just pretty much shuts off your heater core and turns it on with a little mechanical valve that's over there under the hood between the heater core and the motor. This is just some mechanical linkages that goes from heat to defrost or off. Still works great. Although it is a little bit hard to get it on heat sometimes. The fan mode is 4-position switch because off. And all works really good, actually. This truck has a better heater than most of the newer vehicles that I've driven to. So, that works pretty good. The amazing thing about the heater is that these defroster vents here are still in wonderful condition. They're still pliable. I don't know what Ford made those out of, but better material than what Dodge had at the time. I can tell you that from experience. The Dodge ones fall apart. They turn to dust when you touch them. Although I'm sure by now most of them probably have already turned to dust. But we've also got this Sony EXR200 auto reverse cassette tech blah 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 radio. It's pretty much just in place where the factory one would have been. Thankfully they didn't cut the plate for the factory stereo. Nothing has been cut in this dash to fit this radio. So if I find a factory Ford Philco radio, I can just swap it right back into here and it should fit just fine. Which is really nice because I really like OEM equipment. I really, really do. The speaker for that is right over there. I plan on at least moving it to right here in the middle. I do want to get the dash speaker hooked up, and maybe have one down there and then the dash speaker, and then it'll be like mono, but like more well-spaced mono, I guess. Up-down stereo. Strange. I just don't like them over here and over here because it blocks my vents, and it's just a dumb location. They get kicked and hit all the time. So I'd prefer to relocate those to the center because unlike the old Dodges that I had growing up, you can't put them behind the seat in these trucks. There's not enough space back there. So that's out of the question. But yeah, we've also got a CB radio. This isn't hooked up yet. It's a Royce transceiver model 1-648. And I just need to get it wired up and actually put an antenna on this truck. Need to find out if there's enough roof left that isn't Bondo that I can actually stick an antenna to it, because I'm not really all that sure on this truck. But she's a road warrior. That doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, that is pretty much the Spartan interior of this Ford F-250 Camper Special pickup truck. Like I said, this truck wasn't optioned with much. The Camper Special package is, I believe, what gave it the 360 V8, the Borg Warner transmission, the Dana 60 rear end that it also has, and the gearing ratios that it has. Otherwise, this is just a bone stock F-250 with a V8 in it, pretty much, because these trucks pretty much came Spartan as hell to begin with. You could have gotten them much fancier than this, you know, power brakes, power steering. You could have gotten a much nicer V8 engine in this thing. They had a million options for them at the time. But this one's got the lowly old 360. And I'm happy for that, because this truck's got a lot of low-end torque, and it's not really powerful enough to hurt itself, and the parts are still available and cheap. So, good job, FE motor. Yeah, that's the Spartan old interior of a Spartan old truck. I'm saying Spartan a whole lot. Is it the movie 300? I don't think so. But we are going to take this 360 cubic inch V8 on a little drive. Yeah, I guess I could start it up and show you the idle first before I shut that hood. Starts right up about half the time, and my radio transceiver is on. Hold on one moment. There we go. Got a Walkman plugged into an FM transceiver to get my own music on that, because the cassette player on that stereo does not function properly. So, whatever. That was just the easy solution. As you can see, starts up fine about half the time. Pretty good. It doesn't like to start in hot weather, but most Fords this era don't. So, that's not really abnormal. For something that's still completely mechanical, down to the breaker points ignition, she runs pretty damn good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it's pretty much a total stock setup. I mean, it's obviously still got the exhaust manifolds instead of headers, which most people replace those on a 360. It's still got breaker points ignition, and it's still got the Motorcraft 2100 carburetor. Basic 2-barrel, kind of a piece of crap. I haven't really figured out how to make it tick quite properly yet, but it's in good enough to go condition. Runs a little rich, but you can see she runs alright. Alright for a truck that's kind of out of time. And if my noodle will move, you're so cute. YouTube's gonna love you. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take this thing on a little jaunt down the road here, huh? Obviously, we're in the middle of nowhere currently, so I'll just be taking her down some dirt roads. That way it's not dangerous for me to have the camera in hand while trying to drive a stick shift. Put her in first gear there. Being that the motor's out of time, it doesn't have any power whatsoever at the moment, and so I use first gear. Not like you're supposed to use a dog leg, but it's honestly fine. So let's go ahead and get her going here. I'll show you the might of a two-wheel drive F-250, because this truck with the tires that are on it is that's pretty nice. It has also been raining recently, so it is ever so slightly muddy here. It's not really bad though, it's just kind of soft. It feels like a salt bed, really, if you've ever felt what a natural salt bed feels like. As you can see, my first gear crawler gear works great for getting me down stuff like this, where it's pretty clear that the roads are not really supposed to be driven on by cars. I think these are more for dirt bikes and stuff, but whatever. My truck is close enough to a dirt bike, I think. That's good. It's doing a good job though. And since purchase, I purchased it with 58,000 miles on the odometer. She's currently sitting at 66,739, almost 740, and going pretty strong. I've had to put a fuel pump in it. I did the timing thinking that the timing was an issue, but I mean, while it needed to be done, it still had the Fomoco composite timing gear on it. It really was not that big of an issue. It was done more as a precautionary thing than anything. But I've done the fuel pump, oil pan gasket, changed the spark plugs and the wires, you know, normal maintenance stuff. Continuously changing the oil, obviously, as she goes. I run this thing with straight weight conventional 30 weight oil and some Lucas on every oil change, so that she gets that little extra kick of goodness. The worn out motor, so it's better to have some thicker stuff in it. Alright, let's see how good I am at this. And as you can see, it's really not hard to steer this thing, even being a manual steering truck with these bias ply tires. I mean, I know the dirt kind of makes it a little bit deceptive as well, but it's really not much worse on pavement. As you see, she gets up, she goes, doing about 30 and climbing. If I can do this. Now, I don't know how close to actually pointed at me the camera is right now, and it's probably shaking like hell. But we'll see if I can use this footage or not. I either will or I won't. But this truck being my daily driver, my get to work every day, my oh God please start Bessie every day, it's been wonderful. I absolutely love this truck. It's comfortable enough. It works every time I need it to. It's never really let me down in a significant way. I mean, a fuel pump going out sounds bad, but when it's right there and it takes 5 minutes to change it, it's really not that big of a deal. Especially because the parts store has them on hand, oddly enough. So, yeah, this truck, if anybody is like looking at a smoking deal on a bumper dent side Ford, especially if it has an FE motor in it. I'm a big fan of these FE motors from what I've experienced. They're freaking awesome. They're unkillable. Right up there with the 318 Chryslers. If you're looking at a smoking deal where you might be able to get into one, even if it's kind of a shit box, grab that thing, man. Grab it. Because these trucks are not getting any less rare. And they're really not, like, I wouldn't buy one for the resale value, because they really don't have that much. I mean, if you fully restored this truck, put a new cab on it, and got all the Bondo off, new bed, you know, really made it just to the nines, you might be able to get 15,000 out of it, which, I mean, you'd probably put that much into it, making it whole again. But as a road warrior, as a vehicle that I actually use every day, and it gets dents and scratches and gets bumped and banged up, oh, it's great. It's great because it's a classic truck. You know, these things last forever. Minor maintenance and basic car care will keep this truck going probably longer than I can go. Yeah. Here at this little outcropping. But yeah, I highly recommend these trucks. I absolutely love the really just old trucks in general. I mean, you can get a Dodge, you can get a Ford, you can get a Chevrolet. It doesn't matter. Old trucks are old trucks. If it's a made in America old truck, you're going to have a decent experience with them 9 times out of 10. Now there's certain caveats, like don't get a 400 Ford V8 truck. Those kind of suck unless you're trying to build them at least. That's really the only one I can think of off the tippy top of my head that's really a bad motor. But yeah, if you're just looking for something that gets the job done and you can say you actually own it, you're not making car payments on it, highly recommend getting yourself into one of these trucks if you can. I mean, these things are amazing. They work all day, day in, day out. They'll give you good service, and the parts are available to completely rebuild them if you need to. For instance, I can actually say, like, this brake light here, the lens was missing when I bought it. This one's brand new. This dash glass, well, plastic, it is brand new. It's just also been sprayed with alcohol to disinfect the truck before, so it kind of looks like that because of the service life this truck has. So that's my fault. It's not supposed to look like that, but that was new before I screwed it up. And that's just kind of a way to illustrate you can get anything for these trucks. It's pretty good. The truck itself is probably the hardest part to get, and from what I'm seeing online, you can pick up a rough one with some rust and probably need some work to get it roadworthy for like $1,000, somewhere around there. So if you can save up $1,000 to have a truck that will pretty much last you forever with good maintenance, get yourself into an old Ford, old Dodge, old Chevy, old truck. Reduce, reuse, recycle, people. I mean, why would you go out and buy one of these new Plast-O-Matic piece of crap cars when you can buy a made of steel and hard work vehicle like this and not only save it from the crusher, but I mean save from another piece of crap modern car that pollutes our world being put on the road. I mean, yes, this thing pollutes the world in its own right. I mean, doesn't have a catalytic converter or anything, but I don't know which is really worse. You know, a vehicle that pollutes a lot in terms of driving, or a vehicle that pollutes a lot in terms of them being all over the place and destroyed all the time and being made out of plastics that you can't really recycle. And you know, that's a good question to pose long term. Which one's worse for the environment? The one that pollutes through exhaust, or the one that pollutes through braking? Edit that. But anyway, I think I'll let you guys hear the rumble of the V8 before I end this video. There's the microphone on this camera. Sweet music. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I am going to enjoy Dixie here, my beautiful Ford F-250.
I learned you get more for an LED screen than a plasma, cause apparently plasmas are old and I didn't know that. I learned you get more for an LED screen than a plasma, cause apparently plasmas are old and I didn't know that.